Hey there. What if you could explore new possibilities and options after education without losing your salary, your benefits? Is that possible? Yes. And I'm going to share with you some examples of people who have done just that. Because when you're in education, it's like you get comfortable. I mean, you're familiar with your classroom, the school, and all of that. You're giving, 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 and yet you're just exhausted, burned out, like unfulfilled. And taking that leap and giving up your contract, that's really freaking scary. Tell me about it. Been there, done that. And so, what I want you to know is that you don't need to just take that leap and quit right away. You can explore other options until you find that whatever that thing is that really resonates with your heart, your soul, and feels aligned with you and where you're going now, not where you were 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, because you're a different person than you were then. Okay, so what are some things that you could explore, some new possibilities, so you don't lose your salary, your benefits, or your summers off, and can still start to figure out and put some energy into that? Well, the first thing is to like one, try something on for size. Yeah, maybe you always want to know more about nonprofits, or you wanted to like start a business, but you never have done that before. Well, you could volunteer, or you could like volunteer for a nonprofit, or you could even work on a related field to what you're already doing in education, but do it in a different venue. An example for you, her name was Monica. And when I was a children's librarian in a public library in California, we had several high school and middle school librarians that would actually come and work in the public library like on nights and weekends when we didn't have staffing. And they were fabulous. Oh my goodness, they were so good. And they loved it because they had, income in the summers. They got to explore what it was like to work in the public library scene. And it was just so different. And it just got them excited about and appreciate their position in schools more, and also really helped us out. So, a win-win for everybody. Another thing that you can do is to repurpose your teaching skills in another way and to try that on. As an educator, oh my gosh, the skills that you have. You're a communicator, you're a facilitator, you're a writer, you're an organizer, you're a planner, the coach, a counselor. The list goes on and on and on. And so you can look at what are those things that you can try on or like utilize in another setting, even as you're maybe looking for positions online. And so let me give you an example of my friend Caitlin. After COVID, she was a high school English teacher and it just was not filling her up anymore after COVID. And so she explored different things and she literally, she did take a leap, but it worked out well for her in that she is now a curriculum planner and includes diversity and inclusion and all of that we do in education all the time. She does it in the healthcare setting and loves it. And she utilizes more of her teaching skills. She does workshops and presentations all the time. Well, what's that? Teaching. Yeah. So you can repurpose. So you might want to look at what are your favorite skills, the things that you love about education that you'd like and could repurpose somewhere else. Okay. Another thing is to pair up a passion that you have with your expertise. Okay, so maybe you're passionate about art or music or yoga or meditation, and there's so many other things as well. And you'd like to take it out of the school setting and try it somewhere else. So, my good friend Ken, he was a high school guidance counselor and he loved yoga. He was an excellent yoga teacher. In fact, that's how I first met him. He was my yoga teacher. And he wanted to lead mindfulness meditations and write. And so that is exactly what he's doing. He was able to leave education after he built up a yoga following and a meditation and mindfulness following. And he was able to leave but he had it set up. He did it for years, combining the two before it was time for him to take the leap. Okay. Another thing you can do is to start a side gig. Yeah. Now, maybe you always wanted to like have a business. And that's exactly what my friend Karen did. She was a fourth grade teacher and loved it, would not think of leaving education. She just loved it, never got burned out. But she also wanted to explore having a business. So she and a friend started a balloon delivery service. And, of course, that might be passe, but back in the day, I mean, we had Mylar balloons and costumes, and you went to parties and all kinds of events, anniversary kinds of things, and delivered balloons. And Karen loved it. She did it for several years actually, where weekends she often worked with a business. During the week, it was school, and she was able to balance the two easily because they kind of fed each other and fed her. And then one of the other things that's super important as a way, so before you leave education, you can invest in yourself. Maybe there was some kind of course or program, and maybe you're thinking of being a coach. But before you jump into becoming a coach, you learn more about how to be a coach. Or, like for myself, I I was getting to that point of like really burning out. I wasn't ready to leave education. I wasn't ready to leave my salary, my summers off. And so I went back to grad school because, hey, the further over you are and down you are, then, the more money you make. And so I invested in myself by getting a master's degree in telecommunications. Well, I had no idea that I was going to be doing all these Zoom videos and, putting things together. It was exactly what I learned in my telecommunications program. And that is it still serves me to this day. So the thing is, you can invest in yourself. You can try something on. You can play with it, develop a passion further. You can repurpose your skills. You can try on things. You don't have to take a giant leap, but you can explore possibilities and options as you prepare. And there's a couple things about this that are really important. One is an opportunity to explore. So you're growing, and most of the teachers I know are lifelong learners. So even growing and learning something new starts to fill you with some more energy and enthusiasm. The second thing is that you learn more about yourself and you develop skills and repurpose those skills into a new way that you may never have thought of before. And that's also invaluable information. And then another piece is when you have some sort of a side gig, like going to class at night, or maybe you're working on the weekend, so you don't want to like stay till 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night at school, it helps you to set better boundaries or limits on your school day and your commitments to your school day. You're able to get things done more quickly because you need to, you have to, because you've got this other thing going. And so it's a way of really helping you to curb that workaholic syndrome that many overgivers and overachievers fall into, and then, of course, fall into burnout. So, those are some pluses as well. So, I have a reflection question for you today, and that is I've given you 5 different possibilities of things you might try or things to do. And so, I would love for you to just take a few moments and reflect on what are some things that you might do that you could explore different options and get a better feel of whether or not they're a fit, whether or not you feel aligned and resonate with them? I'd love it if you'd share them in the comments, but even if you don't do that, please do it for yourself because even taking that one small step, this one little action step, will get you further to taking the next step and the next step and the next step. So I believe in you, have great courage and faith in you, and know that until we meet again, I'm sending you love and blessings. Namaste.